Hi, I finally pulled the trigger and got myself my dream camera, the Nikon ZR cinema camera. I'll tell you how I got it, why I got it, and the problem that I came across it initially, and what is next. Let's talk about it right now. Alright, so I finally got my Nikon ZR cinema camera. I had to trade my Fuji X-T3 camera, which is a beautiful photography camera, but in terms of film camera, it's not very good for video. So I decided to trade that camera for this camera. Now, mind you, I had to give him some money, plus the lens and all the accessory for Fuji X-T3. It was a good trade. He got what he wanted and I got what I wanted, which is the Nikon ZR cinema camera. Okay? I mean, I miss my Fuji X-T3, but for what I'm doing, videos, this camera is a beast. So I'll talk about why I got it. And I actually have a video I made previously about several months ago why I want to get this Nikon ZR camera. In fact, initially I want to get the Panasonic S5 IIX. Then when this camera came out, I thought this is the camera I want. There are many features. You can check other YouTubers, but I'll give you some highlights. The reason why I got it was because, of course, the RAW, red RAW, which is 12-bit. It's not the full 16-bit, but it's good enough for what I'm doing, especially deciding within this year or next year, I'll be doing short films. So having a run and gun cinema camera would be great, right? So this camera fits the bill. In fact, this camera will supplement my Sigma FP. You know, if I were to describe this Nikon ZR, it is very similar to my Sigma FP. That camera has this unique quality image to it, okay? So especially when you're filming in the evening or at night, I think that Sigma FP is a beautiful cinematic camera. Same thing with this Nikon. I have seen many cinema footage from this camera from other YouTubers, and yeah, it's beautiful, especially when you're filming RAW using the 12-bit red codecs. Beautiful. Okay. Now, of course, there are issues. I want to talk about that later on. Okay. And of course, the big screen, which is amazing for this camera. Let me just turn this on for a bit for now. There we go. Have a look. Okay. So there it is. I'm going to take off the lens. By the way, you notice that the lens is actually Sony. So that's another thing. When I got this camera, I had all set up. I decided, okay, at least I can't afford to get the native Nikon lens yet. So I decided to get an adapter, Viltrox, this one here. I got it for around $130, $140. Fit it in, and I put my Sony FE lens. This is a 28mm f2, a beautiful lens, by the way. Fit perfectly on this Nikon ZR camera. I also have the Zeiss 55 f1.8 as well. That's also a beautiful lens to put on this camera with the Viltrox adapter. Excellent. So now I have this Sony adapted to the Z camera, the Nikon ZR camera. So that's why, you know, there was a lot of process of thinking involved in order to get this camera. It's not just this camera alone, because you have to worry about the lens, right? I have a lot of Sony lens I want to fit into this camera, the Sony E-mount lens, right? So some of them work really well, like this one here. I haven't tested other E-mount lenses yet. However, I think what I have now is good enough. And so I'm happy with this lens and the other lens I have. In addition, I'm able to adapt the old Nikon lens, like this one here. This is the old Nikon manual lens. This is, I believe, is a 35 f2.8 with an adapter to the camera. I was able to use it. This one here, this is the 50 mils f1.2, 1.4, I believe, 1.4. Yeah, Nikon. I even have the Sigma. This is actually Sigma. Actually, this is a Canon adaptable to Canon. This is a Sigma, and this one is a 105 mils f2.8. So that's also is able to be placed onto this camera as well. In addition, let me just turn this off a minute. In addition, I'm able to connect this Rokinon 14 mils full frame onto this Nikon ZR camera as well. Yeah, so very ultra wide angle lens onto this camera. Beautiful camera. So yeah, you can adapt different lenses to this Nikon camera, especially when you talk about the Sony E-mount lens. It works almost perfectly. I mean, I would say the autofocus is almost at par to the native Sony camera. So yeah, so that's why I said I'm going all for it for this Nikon because of the lens. Actually, the lens from Sony that I have able to fit into the Nikon perfectly. This is why I went with this Nikon ZR. The screen is really big, right? You're able to see yourself as a good vlogging camera, you know, short film, or if you're doing solo filming, this is perfect. It has a built-in RAW codec. You can film in N-RAW from Nikon. You can film in ProRes RAW, which most likely I won't do that because it's so big. Or you can film in the Red RAW 12-bit. It's still big, but relatively to the ProRes RAW, it's still smaller, especially if I'm filming in 1080p. So most likely, most of my filming, if I'm filming like vlogging, it'll be 1080p H.265 10-bit 420, okay? But if I'm doing short film, obviously I'm going to be filming RAW, okay? So yeah, beautiful camera, and the audio is a 32-bit audio, also very good as well. Yeah, there's so many features here. You can check my other videos review on this camera before I got it, and I was so hyped up with this camera, and I was like, I will get it one day. And I happened to saw somebody who wanted to trade their ZR camera with my Fuji X-T3. So awesome. Okay, so that's why I got this camera. There's a lot of feature in it. Now, what is next, and what is the problem with it? Well, the problem is, of course, once you got it, you got to worry about your lenses, right? Which I told you already, I was able to solve it by getting the Viltrox adapter and adapt my Sony lens to it. So that problem is now resolved, right? In the future, I might get one or two native lens from Nikon. I haven't decided yet. Maybe a zoom lens, but again, depend on the budget. But for now, the Sony does the job, like the Sony lens. The other issue, of course, your storage, right? Like if you're gonna film RAW, you better have a good CF Express Type B card, and they're so expensive, so that was a problem. So I got this one here. This is a third-party one. This is a 512 gigabyte Type B card. I don't know what brand this is. It's in him or something like that. I can't even name this card, but anyway, I tested it and it works pretty good. I got it for around $100 US, and it works well. Okay, so you got to think about the lens itself. You know, if you have the adapter, no problem. You can adapt your Sony lens, and you have to worry about your storage as well. Okay, so you need to get this CX Express Type B, which can be a lot of money. And I would say minimum get the 512 gigabytes. Don't get anything less than that. 512 gigabytes may give you around, you know, depending on, you know, how what codec you use, you know, whether you're filming in 4K or 6K, whatever, right? It can go from, you know, 40 minutes to an hour and a half, okay? So yeah, at least get a 512 gig. In the future, I might get a 1 terabyte, but who knows, okay? And of course, other than the lens adapter and CF Express card Type B, you should also think about getting extra batteries. So I got this third-party extra battery, this one here, right? And it can charge using a USB-C. So yeah, and it works so far pretty good. I'll have to do a more intensive test. This is the original one here, so I can use that to charge the original Nikon battery, but also the third-party battery as well. So now I have 3 sets of battery. The one that's the native, and then the other 2 is the third party. And yeah, each one should last about an hour and a half, so you're talking about 4.5 hours of recording. In addition, you have a USB-C connector to the camera, so you can charge the camera using a power bank. So yeah, pretty much have an infinite amount of power, right? And I would not film a long take with the raw Kodak anyway. Usually I would film with my H.265 Kodak, small file, and it does a job, especially if I'm doing this type of filming, right? If I'm doing short film, for example, it's most likely going to be like 1 or 2 minute clips, and you move on to another 1 2 minute clips, and then you collect all those clips, and then you try to merge it and edit it together, right? So that's usually how you film, right? You don't film a long take. You usually take about 2 3 minutes of each, and then you move on to the next scene and so on. Okay, so that's normally how you do your film. You don't do a long take. I mean, that's the style most people approach doing short films. And the hard part actually is the editing part. So make sure you have a fast, powerful computer. These files are huge, right? You gotta have a computer that can handle it. All right. So yeah, so far I'm very happy with this camera. In the future, I will talk more and I'll show you more of it. And we'll spend more time. This is the camera I'll be using in addition to my Sigma FP and my Sony FS700R. So these three cameras will be my camera for my short films. Like I said, I'm preparing for short films that I'll be doing by the end of this year or next year, okay? Because there's a lot of preparation needed. I have to get other people involved as well. I think because one-man team is not going to do it, right? So you need maybe other people to be involved. So this will be most likely next year. But however, I'm going to show you the BTS, right? Behind the scenes stuff. And this is why starting with the gears, what I'm using, and then we'll talk about the lighting and all that stuff and the setup and the location, so many things, right? So yeah, very proud of this camera. In addition to my Sigma FP, love those this and that camera as well, and my Sony FS700R. Now the reason why these three cameras is so compatible is because they can film in RAW, right? The Sigma FP and the Sony FS700R can record CD and G RAW, and they can all do ProRes RAW. So maybe I do want to film everything in ProRes RAW because I do have the Shogun 4K and Inferno that can record ProRes RAW. So, and then they're all compatible, right? So using the same file format, the Kodak, may be good. So, but again, I haven't decided yet. I think for this camera, I really want to stick with the Red RAW, the 12-bit, and maybe the other two I might want to stick with the CD and G. Okay, depending on how I want to edit the scene and all that. It's going to be a very big file to edit and all that. All right. Okay, so that's it. And next time I'll be talking about my other gears, like my other camera gears that I would say, according to Camera Conspiracy, that's you, I actually have a perfect camera. Not just one, but 3 or 4 of them combined together. It is a perfect camera. All I want is a perfect camera, right? All right, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and give me a little heart of appreciation. Bye.